Hey guys, AntVenom here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys the RADARBRO mod for Minecraft 1.4.6 or 1.4.7. And basically what this mod allows you to do is it allows you to have a radar on the top right of the screen that shows you all sorts of goodness that Minecraft has to offer, like things like, you know, where dungeons are, where items are that are laying on the ground, where mobs are, where players are, etc, etc. So anyways, as you can see, that is the radar on the top right of the screen. So anyways, guys, hope y'all have enjoyed this mod review. My name is No, I'm just kidding, actually. Let's go ahead and let's dive into the mod here a little bit deeper so I can show you guys how to tinker with all of the settings that the mod has to offer here. And it is turning nighttime, so I'm actually going to let it turn nighttime so mobs can spawn. So anyways, once you have the mod installed, what you want to do is you want to hit the R key on your keyboard, and that is going to bring up the RADARBRO settings. And as you can see, these are the options as they are listed in order. Edit radar icons, manage allies and enemies, which is a multiplayer setting, manage waypoints, radar enabled or disabled, which is a pretty obvious setting, graphical user interface settings, and multiplayer settings. So let's go ahead and let's go down these options one by one, and I'll show you guys the multiplayer settings at the end of the video, and as well as the manage allies and enemies. So anyways, edit radar icons is a pretty self-explanatory one. It allows you to change whatever icons you want to see on the radar itself here. So for example, as you can see, all these mushroom cows are just taking up the space. If I'm underground or something like that, I probably don't care if there's a mushroom above me, unless maybe I want to go up and get some food. But then again, these mushroom biomes are not exactly dime a dozen. So anyways, if I wanted to turn them off, I could do that. If I wanted to turn bats off, because bats are like useless, why do I need to see, you know, where a bat is, you know, etc. Things like that. So it allows you to change up whatever icons you want. And the really non-obvious ones are on the far right here. While you have players right here, which is on multiplayer. And it allows you to turn on the icons for regular players, and it allows you to turn it on and off for enemies and allies, which again, I'll be explaining a little bit later in the video. So another one is arrows, boats, chests, items, regular items, and minecarts, paintings, spawners, waypoints, and XP orbs. And the way that the arrow one works is if you shoot an arrow like in the sky or something like that, you can see the arrow like literally flying in the air there until it eventually disappears off the chunk. But if it does wind up landing on something like that mushroom right there, you can see the arrow icon on the screen. It just kind of stops on the radar. So if you're scavenging for arrows that other people have shot or something, then you can go ahead and you can scavenge up them arrows. Let's go ahead and let's go back into the settings here. So if I wanted to turn that off, I could. Boats would be like boats that are in the water. Chests are very self-explanatory, just chests that are placed down. Regular items would be anything that you drop on the ground. So if I were to go ahead and I were to give myself, like, let's just say, you know, a ton of these planks here, and I'll just go ahead and spam up the screen. Well, that's going to spam up, you know, a pretty like large area. That doesn't look right. I did not intend for that. Let's go ahead and let's turn that off. As you can see, if you ever wanted to turn items off, you can go ahead and you can do that, and that'll remove all of the items from the radar, you know, so you don't see dropped items specifically, which it might be a good thing to leave it on if you're doing something like survival games. You might be able to see dropped items that people have dropped when they died and that other people didn't pick up, because it might help you along your way. Minecarts are pretty self-explanatory, just minecarts that are placed on a track or something. Paintings, spawners are pretty self-explanatory. Waypoints is something I'll get into here pretty quickly, and XP orbs are just the XP orbs that you throw, like if you were to either kill something or throw an XP bottle on the ground, it would be that. So yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's move on to the next thing here. So even though I'm not on a multiplayer server to show it, I'll explain it. And basically what manage allies and enemies is it allows you to add a list of allies and enemies to your list. So if you want to see them pop up on the radar with a specific icon or with a specific color on their name, then you can go ahead and you can do that. So for example, if I wanted to add an enemy to my list, let's just say, like, I don't know, Creeper Face 2012 or something, I guess, even though it's 2013 now, and that's not actually a real person. But anyways, you get my point. If you were to encounter Creeperface 2012, I bet somebody's gonna sign up that account now if it hasn't been already signed up. But anyways, if you were to encounter them on a server, then their name would show up red and they would have a specific icon. And again, I'll get into that here a little bit later on in the video. So what manage waypoints is it allows you to set various waypoints that will show up on the radar. So if I go ahead and if I were to click manage waypoints and then I'll go to add waypoint, by default it'll show the coordinates that you are currently at. You can customize the coordinates. Like I could turn this down by 10 so that the waypoint is a little bit off, and then I can just set it to like mushroom Wow, okay, mushroom biome exclamation point. And then I already hit done. You can see that on my radar here, 10 blocks away from me, you can see now that a little X has showed up, and it shows mushroom biome. It shows a little text there, and if you are not immediately near it, it will tell you how many blocks away it is, and it'll tell you approximately how many seconds or minutes or hours of walking away it is. So let's just go ahead and let's add one more here. Let's set it to like 5,000 or something like that, and then random waypoints. There we go. So now you can see it's 4,999 blocks away, so it'll tell you how many seconds away it is approximately, which is about 1,200 seconds or so. So yeah, anyways, that's how you do that. You can go ahead and you can enable and disable waypoints if you want to, so I can disable that, and it will not show up on my map. So again, I can do that. It won't show up on the map, and I can edit it just the same way that I can create it. Let's go ahead and let's delete that one. There we go. Okay, moving on here. So again, the radar enable disabled option is very obvious. Just enable or disable it. The graphical user interface settings has a couple of different options within it. The auto rotate feature, if I were to go ahead and I were to turn that off, for anyone who has ever played something like GTA or any game that has a map, if you were to turn off auto rotate, you see it gets really annoying. Like the map itself doesn't rotate. I think it constantly points north, which might actually be useful. But as you can see, as you walk around, your little icon rotates, but nothing else around you does. So let's go ahead and let's keep that on. The coordinates one, pretty obvious. It'll show you whether or not the coordinates, it'll either show you or not show the coordinates there. The terrain one, this one is actually off by default, but I felt like turning it on for the video. But it won't actually show the terrain like underground, you know, as you go underground or something. If I go into this hole here, it's not going to start showing the underground terrain or anything like that. It only shows the above ground terrain, so no sneaking around for them diamonds, you diamond x-ray cheaters, you guys. And that's why this mod really doesn't allow you to x-ray or anything like that, which is why I thought it'd be a good idea to show it off, because it doesn't actually do that. Anyways, and you can also reposition the radar, which is a tad bit glitchy, but if you go ahead and you hit it here, and then you wait for, I'm not sure if you guys can see the mouse on my screen here, but if you go ahead and you just click and drag, see, again, sometimes it doesn't work, but there you go. Once you wait for the little, like, cross arrow icon to pop up, you just click and drag it slowly, and you'll be able to drag the radar all along the screen, which is really, really cool. Though I do wish there was one feature implemented into this mod, which currently is not. So maybe if the mod maker ever sees this, where these various circles are in the radar, it would be nice if you could resize the radar to either be this big, to either fit the second circle or this first circle, because I don't really like how big this is, although you can resize the radar if you change, if you go into your video options here and you change your graphical user interface scale to something like auto, you know, see if I set it to small, it'll be really small. If I set it to normal, it'll be normal size, which is good. Like, that's about the size I would want it to be. But I like playing on large because I like being able to read everything, and I know you guys like being able to read everything in the videos. Because if I were reviewing this on normal, you guys would be like, why are you reviewing a mod that has text on normal size? I know some of you would say that because I've gotten that before. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's hit R here, and let's check out, well, actually, in order to check out the multiplayer settings, we have to go onto a multiplayer server. So let's go ahead and let's do that here. Let's save and quit here. Let's go to multiplayer, and let's go on to this server right here where there is bound to be lots of people. Okay, fly. Yeah, there we go. Why does the mushroom biome thing show up when it's not even there? Oh, it must be a glitch from single player to multiplayer. But okay, so let's go ahead and let's manage the waypoints here. Let's go ahead and let's disable that waypoint. There we go, because it's glitched. So now, as you can see, there's a guy that right there by the name of Fireball8204. And as you guys may have or may not have noticed before, he is set as an ally on my allies and enemies list. So if I go ahead and I hit R here and I manage allies and enemies, let's see, there's another guy near him, but I can't quite read his name. So let's see if I can see his name through there. So Michael Cap 123. If I want to go ahead and I want to add him as an enemy, let's go ahead and let's add him as an enemy here. Let's see, add enemy. Michael Cap 123. If I go ahead and I do that, and then I go ahead and I select the enemy list because it's really weird. And sometimes it clones the names. That's really weird. I don't really know why that happens. It just does. But anyways, now you can see that Fireball8204 has a green name on my list, and MichaelCap123 has a red name to indicate that they are an ally and they are an enemy of mine. So if there's just this one guy that's just griefing you all the time, but you can't remember his name, he's just not important enough to remember, then you can go ahead and you can remove him, or you can set him to your enemies list, and then when he comes around, you'll see him on the radar and you can kill him and stuff. Yeah, and you can see him coming from a long ways out, because if you see there that Ninja Peps guy, like, he is way out there. I would never be able to see him unless, like, I radared to the perfect location. But with the radar, you can see them, so it does give you a little bit of an advantage in that respect. And it looks like they're dropping arrows or firing arrows and stuff. That's weird. But anyways, so let's go ahead and let's hit R here. So some of the multiplayer settings that you can mess around with are player names. You can either turn them on or off. Which might be useful if you're on a server where like 100 plus people are in, one general area, which on this server, when you go into the lobby area, it really is like that. You can't read any of the names. You can either turn the color player names on or off, which unfortunately I haven't found to work at all. It's just really weird. And the player skin texture, even though this says it's on by default, it really isn't. If I go ahead and I check this option and I have it be off, it'll generate the player's skins, and it doesn't look like either of these guys have skins down there. I'm not really sure if the feature just, like, let's see here. Maybe because they're set to enemies and allies that it's not doing that. So let's go ahead and let's remove them here real quick. Let's delete that. Go to enemy list, delete him. Yeah, it just doesn't appear to be working right now, which I'm honest. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Jeez. That was weird. So as you can see there, it looks like Fireball8204 has the Cookie Monster skin. But one thing I did want to mention is that if you are in a populated area with, I would say, more than 10 plus people, even with this, it's a little bit ridiculous. I would highly recommend against turning this option on, because it causes lag like you wouldn't believe. Like, just turning this option on and off caused me to have a 10 frames per second change. So, yeah, you can see that guy has a skin over there. And the more skins that show up, the less my frame rate is. Right now, my frame rate is 27 frames per second. When I turn the option off, I immediately go up to 42 frames per second. So, definitely has a big difference. Might be neat if you want to see the player's skin or something. But otherwise, I would just go ahead and I would leave it off, because it's kind of crappy. So, anyways, guys, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover with the radar mod. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to surprise these guys down here and stuff. Let's see. I'm not sure if they can see me. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. I want to get into the area that they're in, just to troll around with them a little bit. And I can't give myself items. I'm only on regular fly mode. Okay, where are they? Where are they? I want to hunt them down. I don't think I'm gonna get at them. But anyways, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed this mod review. Anyways, my name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.